So, hello and welcome to my next chess video. Today I want to show you the game between Deep Fritz 14 versus Monarch 1.7, and I let them play this board position, this opening position you see here on the left. This is a Sicilian Alapin, and it arises after the moves e4, c5 Sicilian, and now the characteristic move of the Alapin. Sicilian Alapin, then move c3, now d5, and now if e takes d5, queen takes d5, there is no knight c3 attacking the queen, so that's why it makes no sense to take this pawn. That's why I played the move e5, depriving the knight of the square f6. Now bishop f5, d4, e6, knight f3, defending the e-pawn, and now knight c3 and bishop b5. This in the game versus Pingitza Günther, I played the move bishop to e2, but Stockfish says bishop b5 is better. Bishop e2 is also playable, but bishop b5 is better. And Monarch 1.7, I let them play without opening books or table bases as always. And Monarch 1.7 has calculated out that c5 to c4 is the best move here. So he played it, and now it's Fritz move. And yeah, let's see what we get. Okay, I'm back here. So let's see, we have the move b3 here by Fritz. So if takes, then probably pawn takes, preparing c4 and opening up the line for the rook. So this would be my idea. But let's see. Now a3 would result in taking the knight here. C takes. Yeah, now probably taking there and taking there. And yeah, white has got a solid center here, which is hard to attack. Sometimes there is this d4 break, even d5. And yeah, how can the game continue? Probably with castles. This bishop hasn't got many squares, so probably knight there. Now I would recommend bishop here. Now h6 maybe. Followed up with b5, because you don't really want to take this knight. But yeah, where to go with the knight? Or other move is, instead of knight e7 is the move c5 here. Probably this is the plan. c5. Bishop e3, takes, and bishop b5. C takes. There you could also take with the knight, though, because allowing black to have this pawn here is not so great. So bishop here, bishop there, and now you could maybe go for some f4 action. Bishop here. Yeah, but now you have this. Maybe. Queen takes, a rook takes, bishop takes, knight takes. I think this is nothing though for black. For white, the knight just goes here, and now you have a wonderful square over there. So I think f4, bishop c5, and knight here does nothing. So yeah, probably queen f3. Rook f3 allows bishop h4, bishop h5. So this is also not quite on. Maybe this push here. And after takes, maybe queen here. Maybe queen here immediately, or queen here check is also interesting. So maybe queen here check immediately. Queen here check. Queen there. But now you get the c pawn. So bishop c5 doesn't do so much. So okay. c5 is not working because of that check. And queen here. And queen takes there. So there is no c5. You have to take care of this pawn. So probably bishop here attacking the rook. Rook there. And now c5. This could be playable. Because this check queen d7 doesn't do so much. So yeah, this bishop is pretty strong. So how to continue from here? Queen here check. Queen d7. Queen takes, king takes doesn't do anything. Takes doesn't do anything either. Could go there, knight here. Takes. Knight takes. Bishop c4. And now queen here check does do anything. No, well, not sure because of queen here, and now you cannot take the pawn. But I have spotted something. After takes. Now what? Bishop b4. Yeah, check. No, not check. First of all, you take here. This is the tactic. Bishop takes. Queen here check. And if bishop there, then you take it with check, and now the bishop is gone. So after all, white would win a pawn, 2 pawns here. So that's the threat currently. After c takes, knight takes, bishop c5 doesn't work because of knight takes here, and this leads to disaster for black. So bishop c5 doesn't work, so I would take the knight. Bishop takes, and knight here. Knight is maybe there is g3 and knight f5. No, not bishop takes. Not knight here. Maybe there is g6 and knight here. Maybe there is knight here immediately after castling. So not sure what to get here. Maybe knight here even. Bishop there, queen there, check. Queen here. Is the endgame something to work with? Probably this is nothing. Queen takes. You can get a pretty nice square for your bishop as well, but this knight has also that spot. So this does nothing. What else to do here? b3 we have. B takes c6. So okay. So currently this is the board position. Maybe instead of taking, maybe castling here, Fritz gives castles as best, because after taking I don't see the advantage. So probably c5 now. You can always push c5, probably h5. Knight here, bishop there. Not sure about that. Because queen c3, and now you have problems defending that pawn. So probably h6 is here the thing. Yeah, h6. Wait, h5 does work, because if knight here, then the queen takes the knight, so this doesn't do so much. So h5. Yeah, but bishop here might be a problem, but I don't think so. Exchanging off that bishop, knight here, knight there. Now you can go bishop here. So knight is covering the bishop, but you should probably still take this. Knight takes and go for f4. f5 is now the idea. Knight here stopping f5. g3 doesn't do anything because the knight wants to go there anyway. So probably knight d7. At some point you should take here, so why not take there immediately? And now knight f5, and this h-pawn secures the knight there. So positionally speaking, this is fine. And if ever h3 g4, then takes, and it's opening up the h-file, or even a positional move like h4 to stop any g5 to that this knight always stays here. But probably this takes, knight here, threatening the fork. So queen f3, queen e2 most probably, stopping this fork and attacking this pawn here on a6. So queen here, and yeah, c4 doesn't work because this pawn is en prise. But I think black hasn't got any problems here now. But okay, we have a different move there. We had a6, bishop takes, pawn takes, castles, and now we don't have the move h6, but rather the move queen a5. And let's see, b takes c4, b takes c4. This is what Fritz gives. Knight here to there is a good route to add more pressure to this pawn. Well, that's the idea of that move, but and also bishop e2 doesn't do so much because there is no discovered attack, and if ever you attack this pawn, then bishop d3 secures queen and rook. So this is not what you want. So c takes. What's the idea? Also stopping queen a4, attacking the c pawn. Yeah, I don't know. Bishop b2 looks not that great. Knight here. I would go bishop here probably to eliminate this knight when it comes here. And now go... I'm not sure, you cannot attack the bishop. And even if you can attack it, then the bishop goes there. So it's not such a... This bishop is a monster, and white gave up his bishop. So, but also in the game against Günther Pingitzer, my club colleague of my chess club, also he had this very strong bishop. Yeah. So we are in this variation. What is Fritz giving now? Knight bd2. Knight bd2. What about queen takes here now? Is the rook kind of trapped? Although now you can go queen a4. Maybe. And if you take the rook, then I take your rook. For example, like this. And I think this is now very bad for black. The king has to go to d8, because if it goes there, then there is this check. But even so, after this, now you have to go there, because here there's bishop a3 check, discovered attack on the queen, so you have to go here or here. What's the better move? It probably doesn't matter, you get this check anyway. Now going back there. And now knight takes here, threatening this discovered check. So queen here. And now knight there, threatening mate. So queen here, probably. But now you again get this check. The king has to go there. Now bishop check. The king has no more squares, so you cannot take the rook. So the idea is probably after knight bd2 and queen takes here, queen a4. And now, yeah, the problem is, yeah, king here might be the move. But then you can go somewhere with the bishop, probably even here attacking the queen. If the queen takes a bishop, then going there. No, yeah, no. Even if the bishop takes a rook, this is a nice exchange sacrifice. Taking there, and now the queen has to move. Moves there, and now this check comes. And the queen has to go here. Now you take this pawn, threaten mate, and I don't think there is a defense. This check does nothing, by the way, because the knight just blocks and there is no defense anymore. So knight bd2 is a pretty strong move. You cannot take the c pawn. So what else to do here? Probably not sure. Bishop f5 d3, yeah, this is always a move. Pawn here, and now you probably can take there, because of the queen a4 and king there. What was my move before? Yeah, bishop here doesn't work now, attacking the queen, because after this, oh yeah, it still works. It's still the same kettle of fish. So I thought it doesn't work because the bishop is covering the f8 square, so if the knight retreats, the queen can take the knight, but the bishop disappears, so this doesn't work. So rook e8. Still you cannot take the pawn. Fritz is even calculating the move knight g5, and I want to see. Yeah, I played the move knight g5 probably. Plays the move knight g5, and now knight h6 is the main move. Why not taking the rook? That's the question. Oh, taking the rook is not possible, because if you take the rook there, the knight takes here attacking this rook, the bishop is also under attack, and after this check you'd have to go there, because there, I'm not sure if you survive this. You can get closer. Now if you go here, then there is this discovered check, and I think this is also mate. Is there anything black can do now? Discovered check from the bishop, all the squares are covered. No, there is nothing. So the queen has to, the king has to go back. And now you can have a perpetual if you want to, but I think there is even better. But how? That's the question. Probably queen here, maybe there, and now knight here. dear. And if you want to save the... yeah, what's black's next move? If you're pretty greedy, no, you cannot take the pawn because it's defended twice now. So what's the move here? H5. We'll try the move H5. But still, knight here is coming. Now knight here to defend against F7. But queen here looks pretty crushing, isn't it? Queen here, the king has nowhere to go, so the knight has to block. And now knight takes here. And there is nothing else, right? After knight here, if you defend the pawn, then this is leading to checkmate, right? Right or not right? Knight takes, discovered check. So bishop has to go there. Now this move, that move, that move, and checkmate. So, and even if not, then the rook is hanging, so rook here doesn't work anyway. Queen there, defending the pawn that way. But still this check comes. The king has to go into this discovery. Now the next discovery comes. King here. Queen there. Only move is that. And now again this mating pattern. So, but we have a different move. We have different moves here. So knight g5. There is this rook here defending the pawn in advance, but now the knight jumps in there. And why can't you take the rook now? Taking the rook. Taking the rook. Why not take the rook here? There is no check which does anything. Oh, this Alapin Sicilian is pretty nice actually. There are a lot of tactics here, a lot of attacking options. Even in the beginning. So knight here. I'm wondering why not bishop takes f5 now, because I don't really see a good way. Probably f5, pawn takes f5, knight takes f5. No, this can't be right. E takes f6. This can't be right. Fritz gives it as equal, but I don't see why this should be equal. You just take the appearing knight on f6 and then give a check on h4. I would immediately... f5 was a move. Oh. No. f5 takes, knight takes, pawn takes, and queen h4 check doesn't work because the queen from here defends this spot on h5. So, and you get the open g file, so this might be something. So f5, e takes f, knight takes f, and rook e1 now. So, but the question is, why f5 in the first place? Why not just take here? Why not just take here? Why not just take here? That's the question. Queen f3. Bishop here, saving the bishop. Knight here, you have to eat this knight, right? And I don't really see anything. You pretty much get nothing out of this. Yeah, castling here is... no, this is nothing. But in the analysis, I wanna see why you can't take the rook, because bishop d3 is attacking the rook. Knight g5, yeah, this is a good move. Not taking, but rook there, yeah. Because the threat was knight takes here, followed up with queen f3, and taking this pawn. Knight takes here does nothing, because now the king can go back. And now you have nothing here with white, because this pawn is defended. So yeah, it's clear that the knight went back to here. But why can't you take the rook now? I would take here, queen there. Taking the rook is... this doesn't work, because knight here, another threat is the fork, so queen takes here. Let's say you play a slow move. Knight takes there, threatening this fork. So, oh, no, you cannot play a slow move, because after, yeah, h5, knight takes here, there's this double threat. But you can probably go there. You still lose the rook due to that. But you won a rook as well, so it doesn't really do so much. But here you have this queen check, which is annoying, because now you don't have a dark square bishop, and this bishop can come here. The rook can come there, so probably that's the reason why you cannot take the rook. Yeah, but anyway, we have different moves. Knight g5, rook c8, knight ge4. What's the move? f5. Yeah, f5 was a move. Takes, knight takes, and knight here. Again, no, there isn't. There, knight here, rook there, queen there, and knight here. Again, you, well, you cannot take this, right? Because after pawn takes, queen takes, there is this rook check over there. Yeah, this looks pretty terrible with this wide open position. Oh, even better, the bishop takes the pawn, and now rook here. Now you don't lose even anything. Queen. Where is the queen going now? That's the question. Let's see both evaluations. Fritz gives it as equal, and also the Monarch thinks it's slightly better for black. But yeah, let's see if this is really the case. Rook e5, queen takes e5 is what Monarch gives. Queen takes e5, rook d8 is what? Well, this is now not that great. This is now not that great. Queen d8. No, not bishop takes, of course. Queen d8. Pawn takes here. Now I would just castle, and after taking there, yeah, you lost a pawn here. So probably you'd have to defend this pawn somehow. So probably queen here. But now there. Now bishop here. So, but bishop here immediately, maybe even. Not sure. Because the knight, if bishop here immediately, then the knight takes. No, the knight cannot take here because the queen is hanging with the checkmate. So, queen d8. Queen d8. Pawn takes. Bishop f5 to defend. And now bishop e3 or bishop b2 or something. No, not bishop here. I would go there to attack this pawn and that pawn. So let's say you defend everything. But now this comes, and after castles, the knight jumps in here, attacks the bishop. So knight here maybe is. This is holding. Knight takes, pawn takes. Bishop here. I think white's position is superior there, but giving up the queen is not nice. Giving up the queen is not nice. So rook e5, queen d8 I have to investigate later, but queen d8, pawn takes, and knight d5, going after that pawn. So queen h5 check probably, and then g6. What's the deal? Probably queen there to not allow black to castle, and after that move going all in for the kill maybe. Is there something? Knight f3 most probably, but then knight takes here, queen there. Let's see, knight takes bishop, queen takes bishop, and bishop here attacking the queen. It's not that clear, but it's better for white. This whole stuff. Queen h5 check. King d7 is what Monarch gives us first moves. I don't believe in king d7. King d7, then you get the queen here check. Now you have to block. Probably with the bishop. But then bishop here comes, and you cannot take the pawn. I think king d7 is completely lost after all, but a nice instructive opening here. And yeah, why you can take the rook? This is nice. Bishop d3, and now knight g5. Rook c8, and now knight there. 5 takes, knight takes, and rook e1. Follow up with this. This is the current board position. King d7, knight d2, f. What? Yeah, knight f3. Oh, king d7, knight f3. What about knight takes there? Then probably queen here check. And if bishop there, bishop here, knight goes back. Bishop takes, knight takes. Knight here will come anyway. That's the idea, to go after that pawn. So what else can you do? And bishop here is the idea. So if you defend with the rook, then knight here immediately, and there is no way of defending that pawn, and you will get mated. So that's the idea of knight f3. Yeah, Fritz is thinking that this position is now probably even winning for white, but let's see. Knight f3, g6. Okay, knight f3. Not knight takes here, but rather g6, but it doesn't do so much. Queen here, and now if knight takes pawn, then there is this check anyway. So you have to defend against this check. You have to put the rook there. But then what? Knight here, and this is a threat. So you have to defend against that one. But now queen here. Going after that. Okay, this you can defend with that. No, you can't, because the bishop takes a knight. So you have to go back to defend the pawn. Is there any tactical shot which wins immediately? G3, queen h6, bishop f8 is the idea. Knight here. Probably bishop there. Bishop takes, pawn takes. Wait a minute, I'm back in a sec. So I'm back. And knight takes c3. I can't believe knight takes c3. Knight takes c3, loses on the spot. Queen here, knight takes c3, queen g7, bishop e7, bishop a3, and knight e5. Can't believe that. So the Monarch, this is, I think, the best the Monarch can get of this. Or Fritz line, what Fritz gives is also probably not that, well, it's bad anyway, but not that bad. But here there isn't an immediate breakdown. But after knight takes, here you cannot go on the back rank because the rook would hang, so you have to go there. And now you can choose either to go bishop g5 or bishop a3. But I think bishop a3 is better because maybe you want to use the g5 square for the knight bishop here. Now the knight has to go back to defend the bishop. Or maybe even you can defend it with the knight. But knight g5 looks interesting here. Knight g5 taking there. Well, knight g5, not immediately, but first, after knight here, you take there. And if knight takes, you have this knight here, and you cannot. This is also stupid. So knight takes, knight here, and if you attack the queen, then the queen goes here and attacks the e-pawn. So knight here you would have to defend with f5, but f5 is also dangerous because there is a rook coming to the d file, and if not, you get some checks. So if let's say a random move, for example c5, then knight takes here, want to investigate, queen here check, queen here check, check, and now what? Pawn here might be an option, threatening this check, king here doesn't do so much, so I will probably let the pawn there. Okay, this bishop is annoying, but what to do? Okay, this knight takes g5 doesn't work immediately, but if c5, then just queen here and it's completely busted. No, it's not. You have rook here. This is the defensive idea. Like this, you can take a pawn there, and white hasn't got any moves. Pawn here attacking the knight. Can you either take this or give a check right there? Probably checking here is best. Now the king has to go either, no, it has to go there to defend the knight. Well, it's not easy to crack this. It's not easy to crack this. Let's see how Fritz is doing this. So we have bishop here, and now knight g5 instead of bishop a3, knight g5, h6, and bishop a3. That's interesting. That's interesting. So Monarch and I would say this is a good move. Probably it is. But knight g5, h6, and bishop a3 is what the Monarch is giving. Going after the bishop. Knight takes, king takes. Yeah, no, not taking the rook. But you cannot give that check either. So bishop takes. Knight takes. King here check. Now maybe this check. You cannot go on the back rank, so you have to go there. Now this check. I'm not sure, it's still hard to crack black. Here you have to block. And now what? Pawn here. King takes, and now you activate the rook with check. Okay, where to go with the king? Where to go with the king? Okay, you probably don't want to go here. Yeah, probably, because everything is covered by the knight. No, this not that square. Check. Check. Yeah, the problem is this knight. This knight is covering everything, so it's not so easy to crack this. But let's see what Monarch comes up with here. Oh, knight check. This is the move instead of h6. It gives this check. Okay, king in the corner. Knight takes bishop. Okay, getting rid of one attacking piece, but investigating one of the best defensive pieces black had. Probably rook or even king here. And if the knight moves again, then you cannot defend the pawn. So check. If you go here, then this check is probably decisive. Don't see a mate. Don't see a mate. Oh yeah, here check. Taking that rook. and taking the other rook as well. So yeah, this knight jumping around is probably pretty fine. So now you're up a lot of material, winning position. So after that move you cannot save the knight, but you cannot save the pawn either. It's lost. It's completely busted, I would say. What is Fritz giving? Plus 2.3. So yeah, it's completely busted. I would have even preferred queen f7, but rook takes knight is also winning. Probably even better. Rook takes knight. Now you have to defend. Rook here. I don't know if you want to take that rook, because knight takes here, attacks a rook. But rook here. And you also even have this check at sometimes. No, you cannot take. This would be a draw if you take the pawn, but no, wait. Here you lose again the rook, because the bishop is pinned. So rook takes. Rook f8 was played. Rook f8 as I would expect, and now rook cd1, pinning the other bishop as well. Probably killing it at the first moment. The other option is knight here to there, check. I see. Rook here, taking there, rook there, taking there, because now the bishop here is pinned. So this, and yeah, attacking here, so you have to eliminate. And now it's also a pawn, and white's pawns are diced. And yeah, I don't even think that white would exchange so much, but so takes rook here, rook there, rook here. Let's see, I wouldn't even take the pawn. Rook d1, rook there, but you kind of have to take the pawn, right? There is no other move. There is no other move. h5. Puh. There is also a lot of investigate in that position, because h5 is clearly bad. h5, queen takes g6. Queen takes g6, and if ever rook there, then rook takes, pawn takes, and if the king goes there, then knight takes here, rook there, queen there, king there, knight there. No, you cannot give this check, because the bishop would just take the queen. But anyway, it's not, and you cannot go here either, because the pawn takes the rook. But yeah, this check, this here, knight there, so rook here, knight here check, king there, f6, rook there, queen here check, and now you have to block, and it's mate. So here you don't, yeah, you have to block as well, and now it's mate. So, but anyway, we don't have even queen takes g6 with knight here, trying to give that check, forking everything, and yeah, this is decisive, I think. So g5 in desperation. Monarch is now in desperation. No, still gives the position as equal with the move g5. Yeah, the Monarch is hard to crack sometimes, but doesn't always make the right decisions or play the best moves. but hard to crack nevertheless. Knight f6 is even stronger. So you can't take with the bishop because pawn takes the bishop and the rook is attacked, and if you do that, and just pawn takes, check over there, and now taking off that bishop, and it's a queen versus a rook easily winning. So this is the move that will be played, and you cannot delete this knight, but you have to defend the bishop, so king here. And now what? Yeah, it's still hard. This bishop is covering this b1 square. So I really want to see this now. Knight f6 check. Yeah, now the Monarch also thinks that this is probably much better for white, but I don't see it yet. I see that this is better for white, of course, but I don't see the win, the immediate win. Probably there is none, but king d8, rook d2. This is what the give. Also, I thought about rook d2, because after rook d2 you have rook there, and giving that check over here. This would be an extreme check. So rook d2, how to defend against this? Bishop there doesn't work. This bishop is still pinned because of this mate. So yeah, how to stop this simple idea of rook b2 to a1 to b8? This is completely crushing this position. This idea is completely crushing. You have to eliminate this knight on f6 as black, but how? Bishop takes, because rook takes doesn't work. If rook takes, then pawn takes, attacking the bishop, and the rook is there attacked. So bishop takes, pawn takes, and now there is this check threat. And there is still this rook coming over there to here. So first of all you have to get rid of this threat. But then rook here anyway. You cannot do this even because the rook here would hang. So rook there, attacking the queen. But this doesn't do anything because there is an immediate mate threat. And yeah, okay, we don't have anything. We have rook here. And now defending the bishop. Rook there, b2. c3, rook b8, check, king c7. King c7. Rook takes, knight takes. Check. It's a check. No, you don't want to go here. But you don't want to go here either. It's completely, it's so much over. It's so much over. Check. No, this is nothing. This is so terrible. This is completely terrible. Going there, takes, rook, knight takes. With checking here. This also is nothing because then you have this check. The king has to keep on defending the bishop. And now you give that check. King here and queen there. Threatening to give a check over here. Threatening the bishop, so the bishop has to move. Where to move with the bishop, where it's not immediately lost. So takes, check. Taking there, threatening this check. So let's say c8. Even knight there is a good move. Knight here or knight there, I'm not sure. But we have king d8. With king d8. No, knight f6 most probably. It's all over. By the shouting. Let's see the last moves. This was pretty nice. This game. I have 2 or 3 questions about it. c6. c2. Yeah, you can even take the pawn there. Nothing is happening. King here, queen c1. h4, a couple of more moves, then I will start the analysis. Black at some point will be without a move. Bishop f5, f4. No, I will end this now. This is nothing. So white won. And now let's ask Fritz 1 or 2 questions about this game. So let's see. Let's put it over there. Put it over there. And let's invite Fritz for the analysis. I have 2 questions of this game. So this was the opening I gave them till here. Another move c4. It's not so bad, but fixing the pawns like this is, I'm not sure. b3, a6, bishop takes, and castle. So now queen a5 we had. Pawn takes, knight bd2, bishop here, and now knight g5. This is great. There you can't take the rook because of knight takes f7. New variation. Knight takes queen f3 immediately. Yeah, queen f3 is a double attack. Why knight takes f7? I'm curious about knight takes f7 though. New variation. This doesn't work. Queen takes c3. You don't even take the knight. Taking the knight would result into something. No, it's also possible. But I want to continue with this line. Bishop takes f1 and queen f3, threatening this check. So queen c7, defending both. Now knight h, taking here. What? King takes or knight takes f1? King takes. What's the continuation? Knight h6, defending, and now knight takes c4. Yeah, and you get compensation for the rook, for the exchange, so that's why you don't take it there. Knight here. Knight. So, but we have rook c8 here. Rook c8, defending the pawn that way. Now knight e4. Why can't you take the rook now? This was the second question I had. Queen takes f1, attacking this one. Queen d5. And now queen e2. What about knight takes? This was my idea. Knight takes c4. Why isn't knight takes c4 a great move? Probably because of rook there. I'm not sure. I want to see that. But here you have compensation with queen e2. What about knight takes the new variation? Queen takes e4. Oh, this knight is hanging, so you have to defend the knight first. So, okay. So let's go there. Bishop takes rook here. Rook takes. This is probably a bad mistake. queen d8, rook takes c5, knight d7 attacking the rook, knight takes c5. What was white's move there? Oh, there is another exchange sacrifice. Queen here check, and queen takes there, and this is even. King f7, and knight takes here, knight takes, queen takes, a5. Yeah, also here you have compensation for the exchange. Very complicated. So here we have that, and this is now completely busted. Knight g5. Yeah, of course this is busted. And here I resigned it for black because, yeah, it was a pretty good game with 3 possible exchange sacrifices, which was never taken, but yeah, they were there, and there is a lot to learn from this game. But the deep analysis will be you will find the deep analysis in my blog on chess.com, and see you next time. Ciao.